Duck Dynasty is back. Season 5 premiered just recently, and it was a relatively big hit, 8.5 million viewers. However, that is 28% lower than their Season 4 premiere from last August. So it looks like, man, they're screwed. Their ratings are just dropping so fast. No, they're still doing well, but I don't know that many would have predicted a fairly significant drop in ratings from their previous premiere that hadn't generated as much controversy. So what do you think about that?
I think that $8.5 million for a cable, 8.5 million viewers for a cable show is still
amazing.
Yeah, it's still really good numbers. So as always, when you're talking about a decline, you got to put it in some degree of perspective, and that's still a huge. If another cable network launched a show that got 8.5 million viewers for the premiere, everybody'd be high-fiving themselves.
Yeah.
So
for any show where where meth is not being cooked and there's no mother of dragons, 8.5 million, very good.
I'm going to guess that's not, Breaking Bad never hit 8.5 million.
It could well be.
Yeah, I doubt it.
So
maybe I might be wrong about that, but a regular Baking Brad field goal, a regular Breaking Bad episode certainly wouldn't get 8.5 million. That's big. Yeah. Those are big time numbers. So it's still a success, but it's great to see it failing. I mean,
exactly.
Great to see it headed in the other direction.
And as they fail, we do too, because that should be lose, not loose. So let me lay out my theory about why I think it's actually worse than it looks. So 28% lower. Okay, that's the number we actually see. Just comparing the raw numbers, 8.5 versus whatever is 28% higher than that.
12 million something.
Something like 12 million. I'm not a math guy. So we know from the past few weeks when so many people were talking about this and the merchandise was selling out that if you're a conservative and especially if you're homophobic, you loved the controversy and you definitely loved Duck Dynasty more than you did before. Now, some quantity of people must have been swayed by the controversy into watching the show. That means that they got more conservative support than they otherwise would have, more homophobic, more Republican or Christian or whatever term you want to use support than they would have, which tells me that they didn't lose 28% of their old audience. They lost more than 28%, and some of it has been recovered by bringing in
Sure, because
the
they got a lot of publicity, which caused some new people to tune in.
Now, but the question then is the 28% that what I would consider real fans, people who watched before it was this big controversial thing. Those people probably likely to keep watching throughout the season. The people who are tuning in because of the big controversy, who happen to watch the premiere, are those going to be as valuable viewers to the network, to A&E, as the ones that they lost because of it?
Generally, for a show like that, the premiere will do better, and then the audience will come down a little. Not always. Sometimes it'll build, like Game of Thrones built because it premiered and did well, and then people were telling people, like, you got to watch this Game of Thrones show, so it would build. So
Breaking Bad.
Right, same for sure. So I doubt it there with I doubt that will happen to Duck Dynasty. Yeah, the numbers will come down, but of course they came down from the previous premiere too. Yeah. I'm sure. So look, it's a not insignificant decline for a show that got all that sort of free publicity, and obviously, as you point out, may not have been the publicity they wanted.
This, for better or for worse, the controversy over what Robertson said. It says something about what is dominant in American culture and how strong those sorts of extremely old-fashioned, homophobic, but don't forget also anti-Shinto, anti-black remarks that he had made. Like, if the show had come back and had been twice as big as it was before, for me as a progressive, that would have been extremely disheartening. Not because I don't think those people exist, but because apparently they exist in greater numbers than I would have thought. The fact that the show actually ended up losing out because of what happened, or despite what happened, that makes me feel better coming out of that entire controversy.
Yeah. I just had to Google Shinto.
Okay. No, he did oddly enough make an anti-Shinto comment.
So those are it's a Japanese Eastern religion, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it was bizarre when he said it too.
Yeah, that's weird. Yeah. Well, you know what? He's a crazy person. He's a crazy bigot. Yeah, they say crazy stuff.
And don't forget the stuff about women, about how you need to marry them when they're 15 before they become gold diggers and stuff like that. Like, not to down on that guy, but to down on the way that he views the world. And I don't want there to be 12.5 million of those people. I'm glad that the audience has dipped down because I think that says something positive about America.